Yay, technology. Okay. That was me singing to the technology gods, goddesses. Please play along. Hello, Annabelle. Hello, hello. For those of you who are joining us on the replay, hello and welcome. I was just getting some information from today's participants who are here live. And there is so much that we all carry inside of us. It's very easy to look at the world and see all the horrors and the political drama and pandemics continuing to play out. That is real. But it doesn't put a pause on our personal dramas and our personal issues. And that continues. So thank you for people who were sharing with me. We're a small group, so I want you to feel free to turn on your camera if you'd like to, and unmute yourself and share about some of what you're bringing to the table. I am so excited that Emily is here. I feel like I have a celebrity in our group today. She's like, don't blow up my spot. Sorry, Emily, I'm gonna ignore you now. So if anybody else has a word, a sentence, a feeling, a color that you want to share with us, please unmute yourself or put it in the chat box, and that's fine. We can start there. I heard from Greta sharing about her family, some of the worries there. Does anybody else want to feel supported in this group? Do it, girl, do it. Dale,
yeah,
mami, dale.
I'm so happy to be back. You know, I went to Mexico suddenly, and then all the traveling, and I was like, I can't make it to all the classes. So yeah, I feel impacted because today I suddenly felt not that mobile in my body. Like suddenly I felt like I can't really move my neck. And I can feel like some tension around here, like in the front and in the back, which is the right side. And I actually had a moment with my father on the phone where, yeah, he just crossed my boundary by giving me advice on you should plan for future instead of just enjoying your life.
Those
And
parents.
I was just like, yeah, don't worry, you know, like did you plan for your future? Are you fine? Do you need something? Because I'm fine, thank you. And I just hung up the phone. But then I felt like all the impact, and actually I felt this feeling in my body. I had it before already. And I was like doing the connection of maybe this feeling of not being that fluid in my body to kind of make this movement of not being attacked by this conversation made me actually feel the impact so much more afterwards.
Yep. Tell that hot guy behind you we all said hi.
Dicen hola, guapo.
Hola, papi.
Hola, papi. Está buscando su libro. He's searching for his book, and I put the computer on it.
It's so, good.
Yeah,
I needed a little masculine energy there. So Dr. Wu was enjoying it. She's like, yeah. So
yeah, I really felt that impact. Like I really felt like, oh my God, I was so rigid in that moment when he called me, that I also mentally and emotionally couldn't be really dynamic about what I was receiving. So I couldn't really set a loving boundary. And I choose to not set a boundary instead of setting an aggressive boundary. So I had all this topic around it. And then I was so grateful that this space is today. And I was like, okay, Embodied Wisdom is kind of always movement. I don't feel like moving too much, but I feel that this space can really bring something that I need.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for sharing with us, Bianca, because I don't think there is one experience or story that anyone could share that we couldn't relate to in some way. Everyone has dealt with parental dynamics. We're always trying to figure out, what is that feeling in my body? Is it emotional? Is it mental? Is it physical? And in the Facebook post today, I said that I wanted today to be about practicing receiving and giving. And when Bianca was just talking about, she wasn't able to be present enough to receive sort of exactly what was happening, or the way Greta had received some difficult news, and I have received difficult news to process this week. So when we have these conversations about receiving and giving, it's going to be partly like today's practice, giving and receiving the stuff that we want, but also about giving and receiving sometimes what we don't want. And sometimes we do that by, sometimes we give unintentionally garbage to someone. So it's like always in flux. And what I want people to walk away with today is the understanding that whatever you're bringing, whatever upset, whatever feels difficult, it is emotional energy we can use, we can process, and then we can use it as fuel to move into a different state of being. Does that make sense? If I'm being operational for our embodied, enlightened, unlimited people, the very Mark Walsh people, we all love Mark, may he be protected right now, especially. Operationally, we're gonna identify feelings, get to move a little bit, and then shift into another state of being. In Melissa language, we are going to become body witches, and it doesn't matter how you identify, okay? Everyone can be a body witch for a moment. And we're gonna take what you feel, and we're going to change it, transform it, transmute it, so that you have this practice for yourself whenever you need it. So the first thing we're going to do, and if as we go along, if people need to put in the chat box, this is coming up, this is coming up, I want you to do that so that we can all use it as fuel together to create the state of being, the shift that we want. So I'm going to open up the chat just so I can see it in case it's there. But can you take a moment, understand the theme of giving and receiving? Okay, and we'll talk about that. But if you just sit with that for a minute, and I close my eyes, you don't have to close your eyes. I instinctually drop in this way, but we can look at one another and we're gonna practice that, but we're gonna breathe for 1 minute. I'm gonna set a timer because I'm also a personal trainer, which means I'm bad at math. I can't count for shit. So, oh, I'm sorry about the trees. I understand, Dr. Wu, I have a close relationship with trees too. Okay, okay. 1 minute, dropping into your body. Breathe. And feel what comes up when you think about giving. What comes up when you think about receiving? Okay, it was quick. It was 1 minute. When I'm going to tell you so that you can start to play with it. When I feel in my body giving, receiving, I make those gestures. Give, receive. And you can see there's a little bit of a take, taking what's mine. I'm used to fighting for what I want. So we're talking about soft receiving. What do you feel? What comes up for you? Is there a movement? Is there emotion? Feel free to put it in the chat. Let's see what happens. And you can also start moving. Anywhere that your body may respond with tension around giving or receiving. You can move a little bit now. Bianca says, feel like leaning forward and out when giving, really out of center. Okay, so could you maybe be centered and give from there? And if Bianca practices that, maybe she'll have a better sense of being centered in a more difficult conversation. Greta, easier to give than to receive. Anyone? Yes, easier, as if I'm not worthy of receiving. Oh, I feel unworthy all the time. Okay, I feel that with you all the time. Yeah, we all feel that. Most of us, many women feel that. And Fabrizio, thank you for being here, adding your male energy. I appreciate it. You can keep it coming, folks. There's a sort of fear with receiving. Yeah, immediate fear is, what am I really getting? Are there strings attached? Am I worthy? Do I deserve it? What's coming along with this? Okay, look, it's smart to be a little aware of the giving and receiving. It's smart, but we don't have to live in the fear. And when I felt Annabelle just now, I felt like my tummy kind of like, you know, Emily, giving equals fear, rejection, receiving, unworthiness. Yeah, look at that. Are you giving because you truly can and you truly want to, or because there's a little bit of manipulation to make sure that no one's going to go and you're okay and everybody's going to stay where they are? And when I use the word manipulate, I'm not saying evil intention. I'm saying that there's a difference between giving to make sure you're safe and your environment's controlled, or giving because you can and you feel resourced enough to do that. Giving is close to my body lately since fighting burnout. Guarded to receiving boundaries for only the positive gifts. Claire, sometimes I want to give very naturally, but other times I don't. I also feel unworthy of receiving. Great. We're all in the, I feel like garbage, I don't deserve anything boat. So that'll be easy. It's a shared experience. Here's what we're going to do first. We just downloaded all this information. I'm going to work with two very specific themes just for sake of time. One is going to be, we're going to talk about giving first. And we'll practice a little bit of that. And then we'll talk about receiving. Then we'll move and we'll practice this again so you can see how you feel before and after. Okay? So you can look at everyone on the screen, and if people have their cameras off, that's okay. You can still look at their photos or their names and connect to them that way. Okay? So take a moment first to just observe on the gallery who's here. Who's here in spirit, who's here in name, who's here with their video on.